Number 8, we are figuring out the area of this regular polygon just like number 7. I'm going to go a little bit faster than I did in number 7. So if you didn't watch the video for number 7 and you're watching this one, you may want to go back and watch number 7. Alright, so here I need to figure out the apothem and the perimeter, and neither one of those is given. 16.2 is not the apothem. The apothem would look like this because it has to go from the center to a side, not to a point, and it also has to be perpendicular. All right. So one of the first things I'm going to do is count the number of sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sides to this. This is an octagon. I'm just going to write that down in case I forget. And so I'm going to do 360 divided by 8, and that equals 45. And so what that means is that any triangle you draw of any of these means we will have 8 triangles, and every single one of them is going to have an angle of 45 degrees. All 8 of these triangles are exactly the same. They're all congruent to each other. And so you can use any one of them. So I'll just kind of enlarge that a little. And so this is 45 degrees. But then I want to draw that apothem in there. And what that also means is that 16.2, all of these lines are like radius lines. If you drew a circle around this, 16.2 is the radius. So this is 16.2, this is 16.2. All of those diagonal type lines are 16.2. This is a right angle because that's how I drew it. I'll label this A for apothem, and then this side down here, I'll just call it B, or you could give it whatever name that you want. Alright, so here we're going to have to use like a sine or a cosine or a tangent to figure out A and B. So let's say I want to figure out A, and I'm going to use an angle. But I need to figure out what angle one of these triangles have. So if I just think of this as a single right triangle, where this is B, this is A, this is 16.2, this angle up here is no longer going to be 45 degrees. It's going to be split in half, so it's going to be 22.5 degrees. So that's what I want to use in my calculation. So to figure out A, what you would want to use is either sine, cosine, or tangent. If you need help remembering those, remember, you can just do SOHCAHTOA. And sometimes you don't know, so you just try something. You know, you could try tangent of 22.5, and that would be opposite over adjacent, B over A, and then you'd realize, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't know what B or A is. And so you always want to know at least one of the values. So let's do like a sine or a cosine. I'll just do sine of 22.5, and so that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite of 22.5 is B. Hypotenuse of 22.5 is 16.2. That was given. Alright, so to figure out B, I'm going to multiply both sides by 16.2. And then we'll have an approximate value for B. So B approximately equals, and I'll go ahead and enter this in my calculator, 16.2 times sine 22.5. And that approximately equals 6.199, so all around that 6.2. Alright, so we know what our B value is. Let's figure out our A value. So looking at this triangle, well, we already said tangent wouldn't work. We already did sine. Let's do cosine. So cosine of 22.5 degrees. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent to this angle is A. And the hypotenuse is 16.2. And we're going to kind of do the same thing that we did. We're going to multiply both sides by 16.2. And so then we will have the A by itself, and I'll just type into my calculator 16.2 times cosine 22.5, and I get 14.96, so that would actually round to one decimal to 15.0. Alright, so in my area formula, we need area equals 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. And so the apothem is what I called A, so we have that, and B is going to be kind of like the perimeter, but not exactly. B is just this distance right here. That's 6.2 from there to there. So the whole triangle is actually going to be twice that. 6.2 times 2 will be this whole triangle distance. So for instance, from here to here, that would be 12.4. Well, we don't just have one of those. This has 8 sides to it, so we have 8 of those. So I need to multiply 12.4 times 8. And that's actually going to be what the perimeter is. So I'll enter that in, 12.4 times 8. And that's 99.2. So, in the end, this is what we're multiplying. 0.5 times 15 times 99.2. And I get 744. Now, depending on where you rounded in this problem, your answer might differ slightly, but it should be somewhere close to 744 square units.